Hello folks, this is Jamil for Gunstock Reviews. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona at Enlo Custom Guns with Marty. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
So today we have pieces of a Ruger 2245 Mark IV, which was a great improvement from the original Mark 1, 2, and 3 guns. Because those, you know, when you took those guns apart and tried to put them back together, there was a lot of swearing and foul language involved.
Yeah.
Those were a pain. I remember taking a Mark III apart and going back to Derek at Accuracy Speaks and saying, here, put this back together for me. And he goes, yeah, you know how much money I make out of doing this? Because it was a pain. Well, today what I have is the Kraken. Yes, release the Kraken. This is from Tandem Cross. They make this really cool and brightly colored lower. And the interesting part is, this is not the registered part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is.
That is on a 2245 or the Mark series guns. This is. And when I first put it together, and I did an article for Guns and Ammo rimfire issue, 99% of my ammo fired, except this one or two that weren't consistently firing. And I contacted Tandem Cross, and they told me that there are so many variations of these guns, especially their bolts change quite a bit from one generation to another, that they had to come in with a firing pin that worked on all of them. Marty worked on this gun before, trying to figure it out, and we got it to work more or less, but not consistently. So what I have is their new firing pin that supposedly works on all generations. We're going to put it in here because it's titanium.
Yeah.
So very lightweight. We're going to put the new firing pin in the bolt assembly, and then we're going to put in, I originally had, on the original article, I had the Ruger factory Picatinny rail that comes with the pistol. It was working great, but I had a red dot. I had a Burris Fastfire 4 on the Picatinny rail, on the Picatinny mount, and it was really high. This is going to mount directly onto the frame and is going to have the red dot in here. So it's going to be a whole lot lighter. It won't co-witness, but it'll be a whole lot higher, I mean lower, excuse me, than it was before.
Right.
And of course the mount comes in with a couple of rubber gaskets. It's going to be kind of cool. So where do you want to start first? You want to put the mount on first, or do you want to?
I'd rather just start with the firing pin and go from there.
Okay, here's your firing pin.
There we go.
This is the first part. First things first. Now let's go ahead and put that base on. These are the screws for the base.
Okay, so I've kind of pre-staged a few things here. We got Loctite 243, kind of an old bottle. What you don't want to do is you don't want to just squirt this stuff directly down in those holes right there, because that's going to end up inside the action. That's going to give you all kinds of trouble. But I did pull these set screws out because they're what are anchoring the sight here. But we can't install those really until we really can't install those until we mount the plate on top of the receiver here, right? So what I'm going to do, and these are all pretty clean, right? Coming from factory, right? So I don't have to worry about it too much. But I'm just putting a smidge, you know, just a tiny little drop of Loctite right on these set screws, right? And just on a couple of these other screws here. Maybe these, and like I say, I'm really just kind of getting a little bit of just a very small amount in here. But then on top of that, we have the wrenches that came with this, right? So first thing we're going to do, we're just going to mount this on here, and they provided all the wrenches, right? So we're going to mount the front screw here and let that go. Notice I'm not really tensioning it all the way down until I get them both in. So I got them both in, and fingertip pressure, right? This is the small end of the wrench. I'm not using a ton, but there is a radius cut on the bottom of that, so it is going to center real nice. But yeah, then I'm just going to come in and just give it just an extra little oomph, right? We have the battery mounted in here. We want this gasket to come in here, and actually, you know what? I should do this first. I'm going to kind of pre-stage this again. And what I'm going to do is, I'm coming from the top side. I'm actually doing this backwards a little bit, but what I'm doing is I'm screwing that screw in from the top side here. But on the bottom, that's where these are pointed, and so we want the point facing up, right? But because when it comes time to adjust these, we're going to go in from the bottom side with this wrench here. But now I'm going to take the gasket here and make sure our battery's on our site here, and I am going to start my my dot screws here.
And mind you, the screws that come with a red dot are not the ones you use here. You're going to have to use the ones provided with the base.
With the tandem cross base.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So,
and then you're going to have to pull the ones on the front before you tighten.
So I tension I tension those down, you know, not gorilla tight, but you want to be careful not to scratch the side of here, because you're coming in here just a little bit. Now I'm really kind of going in until I feel a little bit of tension, and I mean, and we're talking very, very little, because here is one thing you could do wrong. You can come in here and crank this down and bend that whole site, so don't do that, right? So I'm just going to where I feel it touch, and we put Loctite on it, so that's going to locate those, right? And once again, I'm just going to check tension here, just to make sure that's nice and tight. Then from here, we can throw in our bolt, you know, and assemble this thing.
One tip I learned the hard way, that unlike the original, two things. The original Mark IV has a button here, on and off. This one has a set screw that tightens the connection between the frame and the upper. Another tip I found is that this one doesn't attach like really tight. You have to come in from the top and push down on the recoil spring
in order to get it to seat forward.
Yeah, in order to sit forward.
Right,
so, and that's a trick that they should put this on their website, so that it's there we go.
Snaps in,
and according to the manufacturer, that set screw there is supposedly makes it a whole lot tighter and gives you a better connection between the upper and the grip.
We can make that work. And there we go. Not terribly tight. There you go.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, my first opinion is it's a whole lot lower than it was before, and now, you know, being a whole lot lower, I don't know, I can hold it a little higher. You know, it's more comfortable than it was before. I wish the mount wasn't so large.
Okay.
Because this mount was originally meant for the Seymour Serendipity.
Okay.
This is way before we had all this fancy red dots we have now. This mount is quite old. It's been around for quite a bit of time. So, yeah, they said that they're coming up with a new one for the micro red dot. So it's going to use the Shield RSMC and SMNC, you know, red dot.
Yeah, the micro sites, yeah.
So one of these days I'll get one of those. And like I mentioned before, I don't like these grips as much as the standard flat grips, because I don't like finger grooves.
Yeah.
You know that. We butchered a couple of other pistols
yeah.
before. And one cool thing about it is, I'm going to go where you're at, Marty, on this side, so I can show Dave.
All the big controls.
All the big controls are here for comfort and for you to place your thumbs. Like this one, you put your thumb there, it's your thumb safety. Take it off. Your slide stop is there. And this pedal here is for you to put your, you know, support hand thumb. This is made only for right-handed people. Sorry, lefties. And the big mag release. This thing is huge. So that's your grip there. Well, first of all, thank you, Marty. And guys, like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel so we may continue to bring you content like this. And like always, please remain healthy, stay safe, and definitely have fun at the range.
Thank you for watching Gunstock Reviews.
Please visit our website at www.gunstockreviews.com for more exclusive content. Please visit our patron page at www.patreon.com/gunstockreviews. Your contributions would be greatly appreciated and help us grow our selections and frequency of videos.